Okay, namaste, Wednesday morning. So let's do our prayers first. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhu Bhuva Swaha, Tat Savitra Varenayam, Vargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Asto ma Satgamya, Tamso ma Jyotirgamya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamya. Om Sahna Vavatu, Sahna Bhunatu, Saviryam Karvavahi, Tejasvi Navadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Every Wednesday we talk about some general topic. But these topics, they are all, they help us spiritually to know this life, to know the purpose of life, to know the tools which God has given it to us to do the sadhana, our mind, our senses, our body. Okay. So last Saturday, there was a young girl, she asked some questions pertaining to the goals of life. Because no matter how many times we hear it, but still questions arise. And it's very important for us to stop and ask ourselves the question she asked. Am I leading a well-balanced life? Sure, we are living a life, but is it well-balanced or not? Because it's very easy to get bogged down in the details, in setting goals that relate to how you think you want to look or act or just be in this world. Our whole life, if you look at it, it's spent into this. But consider bypassing all the particulars. That means the number on our scale when we weigh ourselves, or the bank account balance, or even starting and stopping of the habits. We got to think about a deeper purpose in life. How can we reshape our whole life in a positive way? The yogic tradition offers a paradigm for such a deep examination. They call it a Purusharth, the 4 aims of life. You're all familiar with these 4 Purusharths. But today I'm going to put some questions to you, which we all need to reflect from time to time. These 4 Purusharths are Dharam, that means duty, ethics. Arth, prosperity and wealth. Kaam, pleasure or sensual gratification. And Moksha, the pursuit of liberation. Okay, together they are called Purusharths, Dharam, Arth, Kaam, Moksha. They are the blueprint of human fulfillment. Or you can call them the signposts which point us to a successful, satisfying, balanced existence in this world. Working with these can help us create a satisfying, balanced life at the deepest and the most holistic level. Because we all have a desire for a meaningful life. We often ask ourselves, but then we got to learn the details of it too. So Purusharths are the means that can help us achieve it. Because these Purusharths, they offer a yogic perspective on how to engage skillfully in the world. And where did this word come from? The root of this word came from Rig Veda. Rig Veda, the most ancient and revered Hindu scripture, Rig Veda. But then we see this term in Mahabharata also, Bhagavad Gita also. Rig Veda suggests that the Purusharths are the inherent values of the universe. So these are universal. There's no ism about it. It's not that particular gender need to follow it. It's universal value. To fully grasp the Purusharth, we need to look at the meaning of this word. Purush. What is a Purush? Purush means the soul, the Atma. And if you break it down further, Purush is the Ish who lives in the Supuri. And what is the Ish? The God. Puri is this body. Lord Krishna also called this a nine-gated city where I reside. So Purush means a soul. And what is a soul? Soul is the essential self that is unchanging. That was never born, which never dies, but belongs to the universe. And Arth, because it's a Purush and Arth. What does Arth mean? Arth means the ability, the purpose, for the purpose. So these goals are for the purpose of the Purush, for the purpose of the soul. So this very concept asks that you take the broadest view of your life. We have to ask ourselves, am I managing my day to day in such a way to support the purpose of myself? Or am I moving away from it? So each one of these Purusharths has many scriptures actually. In 45 minutes, I can only touch upon this. That's why I said, I am going to give you some questions to reflect upon. But you can just do the research, because there are Kaam Shastras, there are Arth Shastras, there are Dharam Shastras. So there are scriptures which are written by the ancient rishis to really tell us all about it. So to truly understand all four would require a lifetime of study actually. That's how much these rishis have given it to us. But still, at our level, we need to learn the fundamentals which are useful, especially for a contemporary practitioner like us. By looking at it, am I moving towards my ultimate goal or not? When I leave this body, this vehicle which I am traveling in, will I be satisfied that I have gained a little height upward? Did I live a meaningful life? Or did I just waste another beautiful human equipment? So once you have understanding of the individual components of each of the Purusharths, just memorize these four: Dharam, Arth, Kaam, and Moksha. Okay? You can assess the role they play in your life by contemplating the questions related to each and every one of them. Only then you can begin to analyze how well balanced they are in your life. These are not the questions to judge others. These are the questions to know your life here. I would say that Purusharths are a sophisticated way of living in balance. Because yoga teaches us have a balanced life. This is the balance. But they do demand reflection. Even when we do the yoga postures, we got to reflect upon it. Am I balanced or not? Are my feet properly balanced? Are my shoulders balanced? Is my back balanced, neck, head or not? So over here, we got to look at the balance between Dharam, Arth, Kaam, and Moksha. You have to constantly ask yourself, which of these areas am I emphasizing too much? Am I having a good time but not being as ethical I should be? Am I a great yoga student but haven't yet figured out how to make a living? Am I incredibly ethical but still at the mercy of every passing feeling or thought? Am I so rigid in my practice that if I cannot do 90 minutes of yoga practice, my day is ruined with the guilt? Put simply, the Purusharths can offer a way for evaluating your life, making good decisions, and contemplating pragmatic dilemmas like whether to spend time with your child or go back to work to save some money for future, for your child's education. Excuse me. At the end of your life, you will ask yourself, did I live this life well? And you will feel good about it to the degree that you balance the Purusharths. Let's look at each and every one of these Purusharths. Number one, let's look at Dharam, the duty. Dharam is a big word. We have talked about Dharam in other classes also. Even to translate this word, we got to use many words. Dharam means duty, ethics, righteousness, work, law, truth, responsibility. Even the spiritual teachings related to all the above is Dharam. The meaning of this word is synonymous with your very purpose in life, Dharam. With having the strength to get up each day and to do what needs to be done. And the easiest way to define Dharam is to look at the root of Dhara, Dhri. Dhri. Dhri means to make firm, to establish. So it is about that which gives life order. That is a Dharam. Working within the structure to serve yourself and society. That's a dharma. And there are two kinds of dharma. So working within this structure to serve yourself and society. There's two kinds of dharma in general. Because when I gave a lecture on Dharam, there are several other kinds too, bifurcations of these, but two essential. One is called Sanatan Dharam, universal Dharam, and the other one is called Swadharam, individual Dharam. Sanatan Dharam or the universal Dharam is, it's like a underlining structure of existence, that is Sanatan Dharam. A source of the fundamental ideas of right and wrong, which are deeply embedded in human consciousness. Don't lie, don't hurt, don't kill, don't steal. That's a universal Dharma. But along with this universal Dharma, we have to follow the individual Dharma also, Swadharam. And this Swadharam is the result of our birth circumstances, karam and talents. And the choices which we have made in the past and the choices which are making in this life also, which keep on unfolding. That's a Swadharam. So Dharam refers to the actions that you are engaged in this life. And there are many different levels. As a parent, my Dharam is to raise my children. And as a yoga teacher, my Dharam is to show up to the class, transmit these teachings. As an American citizen, part of Dharam is to pay my taxes. When I'm driving on the road, it's my Dharam to follow the rules of the road. So there are many Dharams. Whatever you are doing, your Dharam is to do it well. To serve yourself, because when we are doing our Dharam, we are serving ourselves and serve life in the present moment. To keep moving forward toward a sense of personal fulfillment. For some people, that Swadharma reflect a clear calling. A teacher, a farmer, parent, poet, president, very clearly they can tell. But some people, it's not that clear. But you really do not have to have a calling to have Dharam. Because a lot of people, they say, I really don't know what my calling is. Dharam means sustaining yourself, meeting your family obligations, participating in society. Sometimes it could be at a very low level, doesn't matter. As long as you are doing it well. But if you hate your job, and job could be the topmost job according to the way people measure the top and the bottom. But if your life is, it's like your job is sucking the life out of you, as they say, you are not following your Dharma. Because when you feel that it's sucking the life out of you, that means you have not accepted it. So realizing your Dharam sometimes means accepting where you are. It could be physically uncomfortable. It could be mentally draining, but acceptance is needed. Dharam is a relative concept also. So given all of the variables, what is it that best serves both you and the greater good? Remember that. So Dharam is ultimately enhancing the life. And generally it involves honoring your ethics, doing right by yourself, your family, your community, the world, or in the way the rishis, they say, this is a path of the good. Path of the good, which is called Shreyas path. Path of the good. That is Dharam. So your Dharam should govern your every action and decision in life. To understand your own Dharam and to measure how well you are running your life, living your life, whether it's up to the ideals or not, ask yourself these key questions. What is my role in this world? What are my obligations? Which obligations feel right? When I am serving the highest good, what am I doing? Am I on a path for the good or the pleasing? How can I best serve the world around me? We all have to make many decisions every day. Think about it. In this particular decision, what will my guru do? Because gurus are walking on the path of Dharam. Connecting our own mind to the guru is the easiest way to get the right answer. The second Purusharth, Arth, prosperity. But we should view Arth through the lens of Dharam. Material prosperity, wealth, abundance, success. Earth is the material comfort you need to live in this world with ease. Earth is also called a stuff or the capital. You need to get your dharam done with the help of the earth. So earth is, in a simple way, that which supports your life's mission. Earth sets a basic level of material comfort and resources, so you can facilitate all of your intentions in life. So earth definitely refers to things. Something you certainly need to pursue the dharam. But what you need depends upon who you are. For a beggar, earth means a begging bowl. For a executive, business executive, a luxury car. So it depends what are you supposed to do. A beggar doesn't need a luxury car, but executive does. So just don't get carried away by the notion that earth is everything and the more is better, because it's a very easy trap to fall into in a culture, today's culture especially, material culture. We need to deal skillfully with the earth. Because rishis, they say it's a Purusharth. Definitely it's a Purusharth, but we got to be very skillful about it. Wealth is not a bad thing. Money is not bad. But what earth asks us to do is to learn to live skillfully in a world of material objects. These material objects exist for our benefit. Okay? So it's not about rejecting the world, but about figuring it out how to be content with the things you own, borrow, or hold. It requires that you ask yourself, what do I really see as a truly valuable? So earth is the skills we develop to live a successful worldly life. If human beings don't get earth, one way or the another, they feel bad about themselves. That's why earth is one of the basic human dignities. To have enough money to live on, to care for your family, to learn to work skillfully with earth in your own life. Try asking these questions to yourself. Knowing my Dharam, what do I need to play my role in the world? Where do I place value? Do I have enough? Are my things making me happy, or are they stealing my joy? Am I afraid of having more? Am I afraid of not having more? What does wealth means to me besides money? Okay? So think about it. Wealth comes in many forms and shapes. Third Purusharth is called Kaam, pleasures. We all know that desire for pleasure is what drives all human behavior. Kaam relates to pleasure, and that can be sensuality, but it's also art, beauty, intimacy, fellowship, kindness. Calm is what brings a sense of delight in our life. Normally, calm is looked down upon, possibly because this is where people lose sight over their ultimate purpose. Excessive calm can lead to overindulgence, addiction, sloth, greed, and a whole host of other deadly sins. But calm is good, it is a Purusharth, it is necessary when it exists to support the Dharam. Remember, the very first thing was a Dharam, established in Dharam, and then when you see Arth also and Kaam also, then it's okay. So when we set Kaam in the context of Dharam, we understand it to be a part of the richness of life. because we know that every accomplishment has been sought for the pleasure that it provides. We live in a service to a higher purpose. But along the path, there is the pleasure we take from family, from friends, art, love, harmony in the world around us. They said that there's no life without calm. But we have to make sure that there's a shining light of awareness on our desires is there. The real focus should not get shifted away. So the conscious pursuit of calm is a profound yogic practice. That's where we are honoring the true essence of life. So to practice calm yogically means to practice being fully present with whatever you are experiencing consciously. There are many levels of pleasure, from eating a pizza to finding a meditation practice. There's a pleasure in both of them. As a yoga student, you learn to distinguish which pleasures are saturated with the divine consciousness and which are drenched in the worldly pursuit. Which one make you feel depleted or even lying to yourself about what is really going on? So that means where you lose your real self. So focusing on the right kinds of pleasure can lead you towards your dharam. Help you fulfill it with passion. Find your own solution by inquiring deeply about your own pursuit of pleasure. Ask yourself these key questions. What am I passionate about? We are all passionate about something. Find out. What brings me pleasure? Am I enjoying my life? Am I happy? What do I really care about? What do I most desire? Am I hooked on something? That will be addiction. Are my desires or the pleasures leading me towards or away from my purpose? To ask ourselves. Because if we forget the ultimate purpose, ultimate goal, no matter how pleasurable our life is, we won't feel fulfilled. Now let's briefly look at the fourth Purusharth also, Moksha, freedom. You'll all agree that this is the pinnacle of the Purusharths. Because you want a dharmic life, you want to have some security, material security, or you want to have some skills, or you want to enjoy life, have some pleasure in life. But the whole game is that you want to be free. That's moksha. You want freedom from and freedom to. What is a freedom from? You want freedom from suffering. And from that which is blocking you from realizing your own power and connection to life. You want a freedom from that. It could be your negative thoughts. It could be the lifestyle. It could be the addiction. Whatever it is, you want freedom from that. If you're not happy, that's why I said we got to look at it. Why I'm not happy? Our real nature is happy. It's joy. It's a boundless happy. That's our nature. And if I'm not feeling it, if I don't have it, I'm not connected with it, we got to find out. So that's why I said freedom from suffering. And you want freedom too. And what is freedom to? Freedom to express your own creativity as fully as possible. Freedom to live fully and be happy. So freedom from suffering and freedom to be happy. In its broadest, biggest, and the most grand and elevated sense, moksha means achieving nirvana. Complete liberation from the cycle of incarnations. So that is like a highest. So moksha is about getting off the wheel of sansar, the cycle of suffering caused by birth, death, and rebirth. That is ultimate, definitely. But even right now, in this body, living over here, living a dharmic life, fulfilling our desires, earning money, still we can feel freedom from suffering. That's also a moksha. You can be a good person who is living a dharmic life, taking care of yourself, your family, enjoying your family, life, your career. If you feel that there is an unsatisfaction, that means that you are doing certain practices, you are living this life, but you don't have any idea about moksha. This fourth Purusharth. Just remember that moksha doesn't have to be some other place, some other time, some exalted space to be reached. Or it doesn't have to be exclusion of the human experience. Question with the moksha is whether it's a goal or whether it's your nature. In other words, do you become free or are you born free? One view is that moksha is a kind of otherworldliness. But that is opposite of Dharam, according to the yogic philosophy. And the other argument is that freedom is your nature and it is here and now. That's why the rishis, they use these terms, jivan mukta. Mukta means free. While living, you are free. That's a yogic way. So simply taking time to remember your own inherent freedom gives you meaning to your dharam and everything you do in this life. You are as free as you experience yourself to be. Here are some questions to ask yourself when assessing the role moksha is playing in your life. What am I doing to free myself from activities and perceptions that make me unhappy? Okay? Because unhappiness is not moksha. That's not freedom. What am I doing? How can I not get caught in my emotions? Because we are not our emotions. What do I choose to bind myself to? Do I feel trapped? Can I be free from blaming myself and others? Because blaming somebody else for your life is not working on liberation. We have to sit on the driver's seat. This is our life. How can I make my mind free? Because this bondage is with the mind. Atma is never bondaged. If we don't feel free, that means we really don't have any idea who we are. So the key to working with the Purusharth's paradigm is to constantly examine not only the essential concepts and their role in your life, but also how well balanced they are. Are you just working so hard in life? It could be at workplace. And inside you are feeling you're working hard, but inside you are feeling there's an endless grind. What does that mean? Too much dharam, not enough Kaam. But to enjoy what you do too. See, I said balance. Are you so trapped in your pleasure that you are neglecting your duty to your friends and family? That means too much Kaam, not enough dharam. Have you become so focused on making money that you have no time to meditate? Too much Arth, not enough Moksha. Moksha means freedom. That freedom you feel when you meditate. Because you know what part in me is totally free. If you never have any idea. Are you spending so much time getting blissed out in your yogic practice, asana practice, that you can't pay your rent or your own expenses? Too much moksha, not enough Arth. That's not right either. So balance between them, it constantly shifts. Definitely it shifts with the stage in life. Sometimes it could be by month, by week, even day or a minute. It keeps on shifting. For example, a young mother will definitely emphasize the dharam of her raising the children, and her Arth will be providing for it. A business executive, when they are entering into the negotiation for the contract, they focused on the Arth at that time, but they got to do it dharmically. And a college student, sure, on summer break will indulge in Kaam a little bit more. So it's like a shift here and there, but overall view we should understand is about balancing. The work of balance isn't literal. You cannot say 25%, 25%. It's an effort to face the world with all of your pieces intact. To live in a conscious way that leaves no part of you behind. Consciously, first understanding, then consciously working towards it. So these Purusharths, they tell us, what do they tell us? They tell us that we must meditate on our roles in the world, our values, relationships, and passions. These are not concerns to cure. We don't need to extinguish them. We don't have to transcend them. They are simply part of being a human. And we got to learn how to embrace them and love this life. The minute we hate this life, the minute we suffer, we are moving away from it. Got to love this life. Love what you do and keep everything balanced. I'm sure you all have many questions. So let me do the Shanti mantra, then we can have some dialogue. Because as I said earlier, 45 minutes is not enough to talk about these. So it is just a very short summary, I would say, of these four. But at least you got a glimpse of it, what this life is all about. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaye Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much.